In this video, we'll configure Python virtual environments using Python's built-in virtual environment, or venv module, as well as the pyenv tool. We'll get started with venv. The Python venv module lets you create virtual environments on top of an existing Python installation. So to use venv, you must first have Python installed. I'm currently inside an empty development directory I'll be using for the demos in this video. Since I'm on a Mac, I use the Homebrew package manager, and if I execute a brew list command, you'll see I already have Python 3.13 installed, which was done by executing the brew install Python command. Since you're interested in creating virtual environments for working with Python, I'll assume you already have Python installed as well. In a terminal, if I execute the Python version command, you'll see I get an error because the Python command isn't found. However, if I execute Python 3 version, we'll see version 3.13.3. The same goes for pip. And when I execute which Python, we see I'm using the Python 3 from the Homebrew bin directory. Now I'll create a new demo directory, change into it, then execute the command to use Python to create a new virtual environment. Doing a list of the directory shows a new .demoenv directory, and if I list the contents of the site packages directory, we'll see I currently only have pip installed. Now I'll execute the command to activate the virtual environment, and if you look to the right of the terminal, you'll see I'm in the new demoenv virtual environment. Inside this environment, I could check the versions of Python and pip, and we see these are from inside the demo environment directory. Remember, these commands initially gave me an error outside the virtual environment, which is why I had to use Python 3 and pip 3. Again, pip list shows I only have pip installed in this environment. So I'll go ahead and install the requests and beautiful soup libraries, and a pip list shows these packages and their dependencies. Now I'll create a new Python file and launch Visual Studio Code. Then I'll paste in this code, which will screen scrape my cumuluscycles.com webpage, and grab the HTML code which displays the certification section of the page. It will print this code to the terminal as well as write it to an HTML file. So if I execute the program, we'll see the HTML written to the terminal as well as a new HTML file created. And if I launch the HTML in a browser, we'll see the certs listed. The images are missing because the path isn't correct since this content's being hosted on my local machine. Now I'll deactivate the virtual environment, which we can see on the right side of the screen. It's no longer indicating that I'm in the demoenv environment. If I execute a pip list command, we'll see the original error that I had, and pip3 list shows I don't have the requests or beautiful soup libraries installed outside of the demoenv virtual environment. Now we'll clean up and get ready to use pyenv. Pyenv is a tool that also lets you create virtual environments, but it doesn't depend on Python. And in addition to pyenv, we'll also use pyenv virtualenv, which is a pyenv plugin that allows you to create virtual environments in Python. Executing brew list, we see I have Python 3.13 installed. So now we'll go ahead and install pyenv and pyenv virtualenv, and we see the libraries listed. One note is that after installation, you must set up your shell environment for pyenv. I'll post a link to this webpage along with the other resources I've shown in the video's description. After your shell environment's configured, you'll have to restart your terminal. Now, I'll go ahead and install the latest version of Python 3.13 using pyenv. This is already showing I have a configuration for Python 3.13.3 because I've used this before, but I'll go ahead and reinstall for the demo. Now Python is installed in pyenv, and I can create a new virtual environment named demoenv using the Python 3.13 configuration. Then I can activate the environment. If you didn't restart your terminal after configuring your shell, you'll see this error. So go ahead and launch a new terminal and re-execute the command. And now I'm in my new Python virtual environment. To deactivate it, I'll execute the source deactivate command, and we see I'm outside of the virtual environment. Now, instead of activating and deactivating the environment each time I want to use it, pyenv has a command that will do this automatically each time you enter or leave the directory you created your virtual environment in. So ensure you're in your project directory and execute the pyenv local command with the name of your virtual environment. And now we see my demoenv virtual environment is active. And if I leave the directory, it's deactivated. Entering and exiting the directory each time will have the same effect. Finally, outside of the project folder, I'll execute the command to delete the demoenv virtual environment. And this concludes this video on creating virtual environments in Python. If you found it useful, feel free to give it a like. And if you'd like to be notified when I add more content to the channel, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.